And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke made it.
Alright y'all, so as y'all already can see from the title below, this is going to be a newborn essentials video. This was highly recommended by you guys, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope this video also will help some of you guys, some of y'all new mothers that's just had a baby and just need some help with some things that y'all may need. Some things that I will be talking about you may or may not agree with having or whatnot, but this is just some of the things that I have, or I may even talk about some things that I wish that I did have that I didn't need at that time. Okay, so let's just go ahead and hop right on into the video. Alright guys, so I want to first and foremost say some of the things that I do have and that I'm using is because I had to have a C-section. So some of the things that I request or that I have, or even things that I talk about that I wish that I had, it's because I had a C-section. Alright, so the first thing I recommend you guys to get is one of these baby pillows. These are awesome, not just for the baby, but this can help us as well when feeding the baby. You can prop them up, so you know sometimes when feeding the baby your arm may get a little tired or may be uncomfortable, but this allows you to actually hold your baby and prop your arm up on here while feeding the baby. This is actually a little big probably for a newborn, but my son is 4 months right now, so this is a little big. This is actually around his size. I guess you can get this size when they turn about 3 months. This would be a nice size for them. They do have other size for newborns, so I do suggest this for them. Help prop up the baby. It also helps you comfortably feed the baby as well. I also suggest, which is common sense for most of us, is to get bibs. They're very helpful. Honestly, my son is 4 months and I don't use them like I should be using them, but it really comes in handy. It's keeping them from getting their shirts all soggy and wet and dirty or whatever it is when you're feeding them. It really helps them and keep them from getting cold. Like my son stay drooling and he has acid reflux, so he's always messing up his shirts and stuff. But I bet if I put a bib on him, I will find myself changing his shirts less often. So these are very they come in very handy. And while we're talking about bibs, I do also suggest that you get some burping bibs. These are the ones from the hospital. He has more that I have ordered him, but these are the best kind to me because they're so thick. They hold very good. I actually ordered him some and I cannot find any that is thick like the ones from the hospital. So if they give y'all some of these, y'all take all that they give y'all, because these are the best one and they're nice and thick, very thick, y'all. You can use them for burping, nap time. I like to lay one down and then place the baby on top of it so he won't be laying on stuff that people sit on or laying on stuff that may break out, irritate his skin. So these come in handy for several different reasons. They also come in handy for swaddling. If you plan to swaddle your baby, which this is something that I wish I would have done again, was to swaddle my baby, even though he did not like it, y'all. Let me tell y'all, he did not like swaddling. It feels like he felt like he was held down. Even now he's 4 months, he don't like cover above his waist. He want to take his arms out. He just don't feel comfortable at all. So that's why I really didn't swaddle him much. He would cry, holler, want to get out, be frigid, and I was like, well, maybe he's just not comfortable with it. So I ended up taking him out of it, and I just didn't put him swaddle him in his blanket. But not to mention, if you're going to swaddle your baby, I do suggest, however, to get something that they're going to be comfortable and not feel. I don't know, they say swaddle the baby with the blankets because inside the womb they all bonded up, they feel all cozy and stuff like that, and so it makes them feel comfortable and makes them sleep better as well. But if they're anything like my son, I do suggest to get in the little onesies. It's like a little onesie suit that you get, that you can just swaddle your baby in. You can put their arms in comfortably, feeding comfortably, and maybe they won't feel so tight where they can't like move and stuff like that. I also suggest a baby carrier. My son just actually started liking these when he first was like 1-2 months. Didn't like it at all. Holler and scream. Now that he's 4 months, he liked this. But I do believe you start them off with it, that they would get comfortable enough for it. I waited maybe a month to try him in it, and that's probably why he wasn't comfortable with it. But he loves it now. But you know, you can do a lot of things around this. Go to the store, put your baby in, clean up around the house is what I do. Put your baby in it. Like, it's very good. Y'all want to go to the zoo, put your baby in it. Excellent for them. You can carry it on your back, you know, instead of carrying the baby in your arms. You can also get the one that you can carry. I think all of them made where you can carry them in the front. I'm not for sure, but this one you can carry them in the front or you can carry them in the back. So these are very good for that. It is very helpful for that. Let's talk about car seat covers. These are the covers that you put on top of the car seat. I just brought my son one, y'all, and I literally took his room trying to find it. I don't know what I did with it. But a car seat cover, I will insert a clip here to show y'all what a car seat cover is, those of you that don't know. Especially the time that we're going through right now due with COVID, it would be very helpful to have your baby covered up with this car seat cover, and considering that they can't even wear a mask, they should not. Please don't put a mask on your baby, y'all. Please don't do that. You will suffocate your baby. Speaking of that, back on subject, but it will help, you know, keep from people coughing and sneezing on them. It would just, you know, help and cover them really good. Also, something else that I do suggest, because babies are just babies. They're gonna, you know, sometimes they don't want to be, like I was talking about the swallowing, where they don't want to be pushed in. They've been pushed in for 9 months. Some babies are comfortable like that, but again, my son was not. So he doesn't even like socks on his feet, but sometimes he needs them because his feet be cold. So to make him comfortable, I do suggest to get onesies. Get the onesies that has the feet in them already, so you won't have to worry about socks. Plus, every time we wash our socks, even now as adults, what we do? We wash them and we lose them. We don't know the washing machine eating them, the dryer eating them. We don't know what's happening to them. We just know that they're disappearing. So yeah, this would be very good for the baby to have with the feet in them, so you won't even have to worry about the socks, and just keep them cool too, you know. Contact the baby's pediatrician for some of these things to know how much or the amount to give your baby. But some of the things that I knew even as an infant that my baby needed was some Tylenol. I always kept some infant Tylenol. Just never know. It could be something minor that's wrong. When they get their 2 month shots, you know, it's going to be very important to have for the baby. In general, it's good just to have it on hand. Something else is gas. Sometimes they don't burp. Sometimes they don't, they may swallow too much air and they get very bubbly and gassy. This is some gas relief drop. This really, really helps them out a lot. I had to give this for my son. Probably within a month, I had to start him on some saline drops. He stayed stuffy and stuff like that. And to remind you, babies cannot breathe out of their mouth until they're between 4 to 6 months. Sometimes after. So we have to make sure that we keep their nose way clear. We make sure there's nothing pressing against their nose, anything of that sort. So having some of these saline drops and having something to squeeze it out of, the little suctions, right after you drop about 2 or 3 drops in each nostril, or whatever nostrils. Well, you really don't know which nostril is clogged up. But I usually do just both sides, 2 or 3 drops, and then I just take a little squeezer and I just suction it out. Real good for him, help him breathe. They're not going to like it. They're going to cry. They're going to get angry. It actually takes their breath away because you're blocking their airway where they breathe at. But like I said, to keep it from being blocked, any kind of colds, any kind of stuffiness, get some of these saline drops. Are very, very, very important. Something that, because like I said, I had a C-section, so you never just know. Something that I wish that I would have had beside me was maybe like a little small table. A small table was very, is very important to have, because during a C-section, even vaginal, because I know you have to have time to heal. You can't be lifting, pulling, doing all this walking and stuff. But I know, especially with a C-section, because I experienced it, having a little table beside you, something with his bottle warmers, wipes, diapers, whatever you're going to use at reach is very important to have too. So you won't have to do as much reaching and walking, just less as possible. I am going to do a postpartum video for us ladies, so I really didn't want to include this video because this is for the baby, but I am going to do one. So if y'all would like for me to do that video, just comment below and I would definitely get y'all that. So yeah, just to have that little table beside y'all where you got your little stuff for the baby, even some personal items that you may need, you know, so you don't have to keep getting up and down, just to have that little table beside you. Also, I ordered a lot of y'all are doing a nursery. I have nothing against having a nursery, but however, if the baby's going to spend 99.9% in your room, don't waste your time on a nursery. I'm not saying don't get it, but I'm just saying, in my opinion, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, just save it. The baby's not going to remember the nursery unless you show them pictures. That's not saying that you don't love them because you don't make a nursery for the baby. Like, I wanted to do a nursery for my son, but I knew, for one, my baby will be in my room 90% of the time. First couple years of his life, it's really necessary to have a nursery. I wanted to do a nursery with the change table. I just don't think all that is necessary, considering how many y'all really gonna use that change table to change your baby? How many y'all really gonna get up in the middle of the night, go all the way into the baby's room and change your baby? So I really didn't feel like a nursery was necessary for my son. But if that's your liking, that's what you want to do, then, you know, go ahead for it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I did, which I'm gonna insert a picture, I did go on Amazon. Amazon is my favorite shopping website. I'm pretty sure a lot of us know about that. I purchased a it's called the bassinet. Let me show y'all the bassinet, matter of fact. I think I'm gonna show y'all, so it could be more better if I show y'all the bassinet and then explain to y'all about it rather than talking about it. I'm like, what is she talking about? So let's go. Okay guys, so this is the bassinet that I have from Amazon that I bought him. It lets up and down far as so the baby won't fall out. You can hook it up or you can let it drop. The drop is mainly for when you scoot it close to your bed. So what it's doing when you scoot it close to the bed, it's allowing you to be able to reach over to your baby. So you won't have to do too much reaching, too much getting up, anything of that sort. And it's very, 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 very useful, y'all. Like, it really is. I really love this bassinet. Like, I do want more children, so I think I will save this one for my next baby. I really do. This is very good. Like I said, I got this from Amazon. I believe I paid about $179. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that's what it is. And yeah, it's very good to use. However, it's very, the heighting, you can adjust the height on this so it can fit the height on your bed. But it is very low. Inside, the matting is very low. They have like a thin mat that comes with it with some kind of cotton on it. And it sits very low. It's very deep. She sits very deep. So it sits very low. But however, I had to put two pillows. I put one here to balance it out. And then I put the mattress right back on top. So now as I'm reaching here, this is the top of the bed. So when I reach over, I wouldn't have to reach over too far in. The baby will be exactly right here. As long as they pushed up to you, that's okay. However, you got to be careful with that. Make sure that when you put the pillows in here at the bottom of the mat, it goes underneath the mat. And it's not wobbly or anything like that where the baby can roll and their face can go into corners or anything of that sort. So yeah, you have to be careful about that. Also guys, I recommend that I did not have that. I actually waited till he was about 3 months to get. And guess what, y'all? I never used it. He was so used to the cold wipes. So I was like, but having cold wipes can make the baby cry, make them frustrated. It's cold. Something cold into their skin. They don't like that. So I do suggest to get a a wipe warmer. Get one of the little white warmers that warm with your wipes. You can have it on all day. I do suggest that you plug it in the morning. So therefore, when you come home at night or when you're ready to use it on your baby, it's going to be warm. Or you can just do the old-fashioned way like I do now. Just put it in the microwave for a couple seconds. Make sure it's not too hot to touch to the baby. And use it. So that'll be good as well. Yeah, so that'll be very good. Make the baby very comfortable. The babies really don't need much, y'all. All babies really need is shelter, love, and food. Like, that's really what essential that a baby really needs, you know. They're precious. They're God's gift, y'all. It's like my son is really he's a blessing. He's amazing. He has his ways, and you know, I guess he might get it from me. But just the main thing that these babies really need, y'all, is love. Just love on them, you know. Give them love the way you want to be loved, or the way that you are being loved. That's the best advice that I can really give y'all, especially first-time moms. Even not even being a first-time mom, this may be your second, third, fourth, fifth child. It doesn't matter. All a baby really needs is love, guys. Okay, y'all, so yes, that completes my video, y'all. Like I said, all these kids really need is love, y'all. Just love up on them. You know, don't overblow your head like, oh, I might not have everything I need, like, I'm gonna miss something. It's okay if you forget something, or if I may not have named everything that you may need, or that somebody else may need, or that somebody else said that you may need, and you find out that you do need it. This is just some of the things that I needed, or I should have had. So if I choose to have kids in the future, that I'll be prepared for it. So mothers, don't beat yourself about it. You got this. Don't go out buying a million things for a baby that's, one, not going to remember, and two, that you probably want to use. Guilty. You probably need to use half of the things that you have or think about getting. So guys, don't beat yourself about it. You got this. Congratulations, mothers.